Hello and welcome. I am Robert Lee Taylor, CEO and President of TrueBlackRepublicans.com. All one word, Republicans with an S. I call upon Bill O'Reilly, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, and all other conservative commentators out there, around the world. This is a call in which to unite Michelle Malkin, Sean Hannity, Ann Coulter, not just the Fox News staff, and not just commentators. I am talking about conservatives in general. We need to unite. In the year 2012, we need to politically, legally depose Barack Hussein Obama from the White House. He needs to leave. Someone new needs to step in. We cannot afford a repeat performance of the 2008 U.S. presidential elections. We just can't do that. This time, we need to focus on minority recruitment. We need blacks, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, Pacific Islanders, every ethnic group behind us on the conservative Republican side and in unison with one another. We have to determine and decide who the best candidates are for the 2012 presidential elections. We have to have this information now rather than soon. Too often I sense complacency among my peers and colleagues. It is imperative that the paradigm and mode of complacency be altered. I have reservations about using the word change, as it was a gimmick used by the Obama administration. Notwithstanding, we must alter Obama's intended course of action, which is to bankrupt and enslave the hard-working capitalists of our Western society. The Obama administration's con games and denial and deception operations must come to an end. If we are to truly usher in a new 21st century renaissance, we must take these matters seriously. Specifically, if a vast segment of the African American community is not behind our Republican Party efforts, as critics, pundits, and rabble-rousers have often stated and continue to concede is the case, then our Republican Party as it stands can already consider it to be a total future loss in regard to the upcoming 2012 U.S. presidential elections. The last time this happened, there was a multitude of individuals claiming to be astounded. This is not how we conservatives and Republicans should operate. This was foreseeable. We saw this. We saw this coming. We knew that Barack Obama had a plan to leverage different scams and different persons he had behind him, such as Jeremiah Wright and Barack Hussein Obama's wife, Michelle Obama, who was never proud of America. We had intel on the Weather Underground, various terrorist sympathizers, and numerous individuals who were against capitalism and our capitalist way of life in the American Republic, as it was first created by the original designers and architects, framers. The results of the past elections represent a travesty of the American Republican GOP. We cannot say that Barack Obama was fraudulent and that he rigged the elections, but it is something that we let happen as conservatives. We let Barack Obama become the President of the United States. We should have had a concerted effort to prevent him from doing that. We should have had a concerted effort to prevent him from accomplishing his goal. We have no one to blame but ourselves. This is not a game. Fellow Republicans, fellow conservatives, we cannot sit back and think that we can go to these different rally points, different fundraisers, different political events, partake of activities which we are told somehow further our conservative Republican agenda, that we are really accomplishing our goals, unless we are putting money into a coffer in which to afford African American conservatives and Republicans adequate media coverage with which to fight fire with fire. If these priorities are overlooked, then consider all other political activities such as dinner parties, barbecues, luncheons, breakfasts, speaking engagements, sports nights, fundraising, and fundraisers in general to be frivolous, wastes of time, futile, and defeating their own purposes. If there are no significant, sizable, considerable, or substantial investments and or allocations to African American conservative Republican organizations ranging into the hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars on par with that of our liberal adversaries, then you might as well just quit now, give up hope, and assume that Barack Hussein Obama will triumph once again in 2012. Despite our so-called best efforts. Let us not make the same mistakes that we made in the 2008 presidential elections. We need to put money into the black African American Republican conservative community and other potential Republican conservative ethnic minority communities as part of our increased ethnic minority outreach efforts. We need to overhaul our political party and prove to outsiders that African American conservative Republicans who have helped build conservative America are on equal footing with Caucasian counterparts. Consider me to be Barack Hussein Obama's archnemesis, Robert Lee Taylor. Visit trueblackrepublicans.com, find the link to donate, and see very clearly the work that I have been doing around the clock to ensure that Barack Hussein Obama does not win the 2012 U.S. presidential elections, and that we supplant him with a true, legitimate leader who is fit for command of the United States of America. Robert Lee Taylor, Black Conservative Republican Minority Foundation, uses monies, donations, and financial contributions in which to dispel myths about Black African American conservative Republicans, to change the Uncle Tom paradigm, for counter-propaganda, to expose the truth about opponents, for scholarly studies, media coverage, publications, books, etc., diplomatic training, to create new revenue streams, for outreach to other minority and ethnic groups, to mobilize voters, to register voters, for endowments, philanthropy, and to improve foreign relations. We are a Republican entity serving the better interests of our great nation.